You think being called gifted as a kid was a compliment. But here's what nobody told you: that label didn't open doors for you. It built a cage, and right now, that cage is the reason you can't start things, can't finish things, and feel like you're secretly running out of time while everyone else catches up. Carol Dweck saw this coming 30 years ago, and her book Mindset has the key. But you have to be willing to hear something uncomfortable first. If you've ever sat in front of a blank document for 3 hours because you didn't know how to make the first sentence perfect, then you already know what I'm talking about. If you've ever abandoned a hobby the moment it stopped feeling easy, deleted a half-written essay because it wasn't flowing, or found yourself reinstalling apps at 2 a.m. looking for the right productivity system instead of just doing the work, then this is for you. You were told you were smart, and that was the worst thing they could have said. Because now your entire identity is wrapped around being someone who doesn't have to try, someone who just gets it. And the moment something requires effort, your brain doesn't say this is hard. It says, maybe I'm not actually smart. And you quit before anyone can see you struggle. Dweck spent decades watching this exact pattern destroy talented people. And Mindset isn't another self-help pep talk. It's an autopsy. Dweck doesn't say this directly, but if you read between the lines, the whole book is about one terrifying truth. Your brain has been operating on a software update it never asked for. She calls it the fixed mindset, the belief that your abilities are set in stone, that you're either born with it or you're not. And she spent over 30 years at Stanford mapping how this single belief determines whether you thrive or self-destruct when things get hard. The mainstream missed this. Everyone talks about growth mindset like it's a poster on a classroom wall. But Dweck's real research, it's about how the gifted label is actually a scarlet letter that follows you into adulthood. And here's where most people get it wrong. They think this is about confidence. It's not. It's about identity. And identity is much harder to fix. The first lesson is this: the praise you received as a child became the prison you live in now. Dweck found that when adults tell kids, "You're so smart," or "You're so talented," those kids don't hear encouragement. They hear a contract. The contract says, your value comes from being naturally good at things. So you learn to protect that value at all costs. You only raise your hand when you already know the answer. You only pursue hobbies where you're immediately good. You curate your entire life around things that confirm the story that you're special. And this is the part that made me pause the audiobook. Dweck discovered that kids who were praised for effort instead of intelligence, they actually enjoyed hard problems more. They lit up when things got confusing. Meanwhile, the smart kids looked like they were being punished. Because to them, confusion wasn't a puzzle. It was evidence. The second lesson is why talented people quit when things get hard. And the answer is almost embarrassing in its simplicity. In a fixed mindset, effort is the enemy. Because if you have to try, then you weren't naturally gifted. And if you weren't naturally gifted, then the whole foundation of your identity crumbles. So you quit, not because you don't care, but because continuing feels like a public admission of fraud. Dweck watched this with straight-A students who would rather turn in nothing than turn in a B+. With athletes who would fake injuries rather than lose a match they might not win. The third one is the one that actually changed how I study. She found that people in a growth mindset don't just try harder. They try differently. They see failure as information, not indictment. And that distinction, it's everything. The third lesson is the one the author almost buried in a footnote. And it's the most important thing in the entire book. Effort isn't the sign that you're bad at something. Effort is the path to mastery, not a consolation prize for the untalented. The actual mechanism. Dweck's research showed that when people believe skills can be developed, their brains literally respond to mistakes differently. They show more electrical activity. They engage more deeply. Your brain grows more when you struggle than when you succeed effortlessly. Think about that. All those years of coasting through school because it was easy, you weren't getting smarter. You were staying comfortable. And comfort is where growth goes to die. So here's the system. 3 steps. Takes less than 2 minutes a day. Step 1. Audit your self-talk for fixed labels. Stop saying, "I'm not a math person," or "I'm just not creative," or "I have a bad memory." These aren't facts. They're alibis. Replace them with "I'm not good at this yet." That one word, yet it cracks the cage open. Step 2. Track your effort, not your outcomes. For 1 week, write down one thing you tried that was genuinely hard. Not what you accomplished, what you attempted. Because in a growth mindset, the attempt is the win. Most people track their wins and feel terrible when the streak breaks. Track your struggles instead. That's where the data lives. Step 3. Find your confusion threshold and stay there for 10 minutes a day. Pick something just outside your current ability. Something that makes you feel stupid for the first few minutes. And sit in it. No switching to an easier task. No, I'll come back to this. 10 minutes of productive confusion. That's it. Number 5 a.m. wake-ups. Number 3-hour routines. Just 10 minutes of not knowing what you're doing, on purpose. This won't work if you treat it like another productivity hack to optimize. The mistake most people make is reading mindset, nodding along, and then using growth mindset as a new way to feel superior. Oh, I have a growth mindset now. I'm better than the fixed mindset people. That's just the fixed mindset wearing a costume. And here's the uncomfortable truth: some things genuinely might not be worth your effort. Dweck isn't saying you can become Mozart if you just believe hard enough. She's saying you'll never know what you're capable of if you quit the moment it stops feeling like destiny. The system works when you stop performing intelligence and start building it. But if you're using this to curate a new, more enlightened version of your specialness, you're still in the cage. You spent years being told you were smart. Maybe it's time to find out what you could become if you stopped needing to be.